So hello and thank you for watching this video. In today's video we're going to be watching Stef do a mock test in Borehamwood. It's his second mock test and he's got a test coming up fairly soon as well. So as always, test is going to last 38 to 40 minutes. During that time we're going to do one manoeuvre plus possibly the emergency stop. If I say nothing, assume I want you to go straight or follow the road signs, and if you're not sure you can ask me to repeat. When ready? Drive on. Stef's observations here are very good. Coming out this car park is really tricky, normally because there's parked cars either side, so be very, very careful. Keep edging forward and keep looking both directions. As you can see, Stef does a brilliant job here. Turn right. It's very important when you come onto the dual carriageway that you build up your speed as quickly as you possibly can. So if any vehicles are approaching from behind, you don't give them the chance to catch you. Remember, if someone does have to slow down because you've come out of that road, it's a fail. So extend your gears. Get up to 3 or even 3,500 RPM before changing the gear. As you can see, Stef does a brilliant job to get that speed up nice and quickly. Turn left at the roundabout first exit. Yes, please. So here? Up ahead, Stef is adjoining the A1 dual carriageway. It's a funny junction, this one, that you need to try to remember. It does not have a slip lane. It's technically a give way, but without any signs to show that. Now, you need to look over your right shoulder to see if there's anything coming down the A1, but don't just stare, because what will happen is this. Stef looks over his right shoulder, doesn't see where he's going, and I've had to take control of the steering to stop the accident from occurring by mounting the pavement and possibly blowing the tyres up. So unfortunately, that is a dangerous fault. Stef does very good observations on the approach, but the problem is he stops a little bit short of the give way line, so he gets to a position where he can't see, and therefore he doesn't take an opportunity that he could have done. But I've not marked that down as a driver fault, it's not that much of a concern, but always try to get ahead of the vehicle to your right so it allows you to see what's going on. roundabout ahead, I would like you to follow the A41 towards Watford, and I would like you to continue to follow the signs for Watford as well after that. Stef acknowledges the sign on the side of the road to show where Watford is, and he starts checking his mirrors straight away, which is perfect. He is fully aware of his surroundings, and as and when it's safe, he'll start to move across the lanes. The second sign on the right is very important that you acknowledge, because that shows you which lane you need to be in. Remember, we're following the A41, and Stef is correct by staying in this lane because it makes the exit a lot easier. Stef's mirror work isn't ideal here, and I've given him a driver fault for use of mirrors, but there's a bigger problem here. He changes lane, so instead of standing between these two white lines, he drifts back over to the right, and you'll see it says A1 rather than A41. He does check his mirrors, and it is safe, so I haven't given him a serious fault for this, but it's something that you need to take into account. Remember, always drift to the left for every exit you go past, so you don't get caught out like this. Stef hasn't checked all three mirrors before pulling away here, so therefore he gets a driver fault for use of mirrors change of speed. Stef notices the roundabout sign on the left hand side that shows that Watford is right of 12 o'clock. So again, he correctly checks his mirrors and he moves across into the right lane in good time. Again, fantastic thought process. Bit of an unusual situation here, but Stef does a great job in keeping the keep clear section open. It's really important that you always look ahead and see what's going on in front, because if you were to stop in this keep clear, it would be an instant fail. Remember, this road is a national speed limit, but because the road now separates into two separate carriageways, there's a barrier on your right hand side, the speed limit now has increased to 70 miles an hour. Stef moves across into lane 2 at this point, and there is no problem with doing that. He has some local knowledge, as it seems, and knows that he has to turn right at the roundabout ahead. Roundabout ahead, we're going to be turning right. Thank you, that is the end of the independent drive. From now on, I'm going to give you directions. Stef is doing 33 miles per hour on the approach to this speed camera, which is why I lean across. He does slow the car down, and it might be because he's acknowledged that I'm looking over his shoulder. It might be simply that he's thought, speed camera, I need to slow down. So I've given him a driver fault for use of speed. If the examiner is looking across, it's a good tip that your speed might be incorrect. Not 100%, but it's something that you want to take into account. The other thing to remember is that the speed GPS tag in the bottom of the screen reads 3 miles per hour slower than the display on the car. So at the moment you can see it's 27 miles per hour, but the car is actually displaying 30. Roundabout ahead, turn left, first exit. so, please. So, although it is okay to park on a single yellow line, you shouldn't park opposite another junction. He's also parked in front of a driveway, so both of these things would result as a driver fault. He hasn't moved the car forward, but he is still opposite the junction. So it's important to remember that when the examiner does say to park up where it's safe to do so, you don't have to do it instantly. Wait until you see an appropriate space. Again, I'd like you to park on the left where it's safe and convenient to do so. So as we just mentioned, the one thing you can't park in front of is a driveway. And again, he has parked directly in front. If he just moved a bit further forward, it wouldn't be a problem. I've been nice here and I've given it as another driving fault. Some examiners may give this as a serious though. Stef stalls here because he doesn't use enough petrol. No biggie though. He starts the car, he does another all-round observation before pulling away. So it's just the driver fault for control on moving off. Right, it's park one car length before that next car, please. Leave that one car length space to get back out.
Behind.
It's okay, don't worry about it now. Let's carry on driving. So remember, before is before you get to that car. Right. Okay. End the road, turn right. Because Stef didn't do his signal, he hasn't done anything wrong to mislead any other drivers, so this would not be a driver fault. Okay, so we're going to park on the left, one car length before this next vehicle instead, okay? Because the examiner has instructed one car length before this vehicle, blocking the driveway here is not an issue. Roundabout ahead, we're going to be going straight across second exit. So Stef should be in the left lane here, so this is a driver fault for lane discipline. I do forget to mention this at the end of the test, but as he moves into the exit he does check the mirrors again and he does move across safely, so I've only given him the driver fault. So you will see that the next oncoming vehicle will start to flash his lights, but Stef's looking at the right mirror and looking out the window. He doesn't actually see it. He does then acknowledge when the person waves. So again, this wouldn't be a driver fault, but try not to just stare in random directions. Keep flicking between different observational points so you paint a picture of what's going on. Park on the left through, please. Don't worry about driveways on this occasion. This leads to the second major. Yes, don't block driveways, but do not park on double yellow lines. This would be a serious fault, as this is the third time that there's been a parking issue. Stef does a good job of moving in for this meeting situation, but because he doesn't check his right mirror before moving back out, this would be a driver fault for change of direction use of mirrors. To the next road on the left. Roundabout ahead, turn right, second exit. Stef does a great job here. He checks his mirrors before moving in for this meeting situation, and he reacts really quickly when he sees the bus flash its lights. So, fantastic drive, brilliant planning. This is what we want to see. It's the return of the pesky mirror fault here. He doesn't check his rearview mirror on the approach to this mini roundabout, so he's accumulated the driver fault for change of speed mirrors. So this time he does check the rearview mirror on the approach to this roundabout, so no driver fault. If only he did that the last time. Park one car length before the van, please. So this is in preparation for the reverse manoeuvre. Thank you. I'd like you to do your manoeuvre now. I'd like you to reverse back 2 car lengths, keeping it close to the curb, and don't worry about the driveway or the double yellow line. I don't mind you stopping on those. His all-round observations are perfect on this manoeuvre. He's constantly checking his shoulders. He reacts when he sees the van, and he's already gone back the 2 car lengths, so that's perfect. And take the next road on the right. So he's stalled here because he hasn't used enough petrol. Again, not too much of an issue. It's a driver fault for moving off control. Turn left into the car park. It's just this first one here. And then just go dead straight. Okay. Switch off, relax. So, Steph, how do you feel that one went?
I think I made quite a lot of stupid little mistakes, and I was just staring too long at some items, too long. I wasn't looking, obviously, in the whole area. I think was a bit of the issue, and not enough power in some places.
Yeah, I agree. So you obviously know you got a dangerous fault, which is when I had to take control of the steering wheel. So talk us through, why do you feel that happened? Because you did mention it there.
Yeah, because I just kept looking behind me to see if it was clear. If it was clear, I wasn't paying attention in front of me to see, because I remember there's a curve, so I just didn't look really.
Yeah,
looking behind me to see if I was able to go.
Yeah, and that's it. So in hindsight, what should you be doing there instead?
Keep looking back and forward all the time, to keep going back and forward. I just kept looking back.
Precisely, that's it. So shoulder check, windscreen, shoulder check, windscreen, so you know exactly what's going on. Okay, obviously that was unfortunate. It happened right at the beginning of the mock, but all in all, that wasn't actually too bad a mock test. Okay, we got 14 driver faults or minors, and we got 2 serious faults. 2 major faults, 1 dangerous, 1 serious. The serious fault, you're going to be really kicking yourself with.
Okay.
So you know when I ask you to park on the left where it's safe and convenient to do so?
Yes.
What can't you park on, in front of or near?
The yellow line.
Okay, single yellow or double yellow?
Double.
Perfect. Can't park on double yellow lines, okay? But you did on one occasion.
Was it? Oh,
okay. It's when I said, basically, park on the left, don't worry about driveways on this occasion. And you could have gone to the driveway in front, you could have stopped at the driveway behind, and you stopped slap bang in the middle of the 2 double yellow lines, okay? But just before that as well, where I did ask you to park on the left where it's safe and convenient to do so, yeah, the first one, you park directly opposite another junction, okay? Remember, you should always keep junctions open, so you shouldn't park within 10 metres of one, whether it's on that side of the road or your side of the road, either 10 metres in front or 10 metres behind. The other thing as well, can't park in front of...
I don't know.
Driveways.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So again, we parked in front of a driveway on the other occasion. Okay. The driver faults, rather small ones. So first, we'll go along the sheet. Gears, twice using the incorrect gear.
Yeah, I noticed on the hill. I was on 5th. I was on 3rd.
That's it, but you corrected it, so that's why it was only a driving fault. 2 move off controls, so that was the stalls. Okay, so like you correctly said, too shy on the petrol.
Yeah.
This is why I tell you guys, use gas before you bring the clutch up to the bite point. And then our old favourite, mirrors. So we got 2 for change of directions, not checking our mirrors as we're moving across, and 4 for change of speed, not checking them when you're slowing down. We had 1 use of speed that was just coming up to a speed camera. You look down and you're like, oh, I'm 4 miles an hour over the speed limit, and you slowed it down, but it was only over for a brief amount of time. Position lane discipline, we got 1 driver fault for. That was, I'm trying to remember now. Where was the lane discipline fault?
Switch to driving mode recording.
That'll come back to me. And then the 2 driver faults that we said for the parking, so in front of the driveway and opposite the other junction. So not too bad, easy stuff to work on. Okay, in fact we'll do that junction right now.
Right, okay.
So I hope that video has helped, and as always, if you have any questions, put a comment in the comment section below. Thank you.